Hey there, are you thinking about buying or selling a home? One of the most important questions you'll be asking yourself during this process is how to choose the right real estate agent for you. Today, I'm giving you the top questions to ask your potential realtors to help narrow down if they are the right fit for you. That way you don't end up with regrets or surprises later. So grab a notepad, sit down, and listen up. First up, how long have you been a realtor? Now, the length in the business is not the be-all, end-all, that's certainly for sure. I know plenty of agents who they've been in the business for 30 years and they've been doing the same 1 year over and over and over again, and they never improve their skills, their knowledge, their negotiating, anything like that. But it is a good idea of how seasoned and knowledgeable an agent is about the market. You can definitely follow it up with how many transactions have you done in the past year? You really want someone who's active in the local market and didn't just get their pretty headshot on a business card. One thing that I would say to look for is the national average for transactions is 6 a year. I would look for is at least 12 a year consistently. To have a knowledgeable person who's doing at least an adequate number of transactions, that they're staying up to date on the market. I want to see at least 12. Bonus question is you can ask if they're a full-time or a part-time agent. This is one of the biggest investments you'll make in your life, so you want someone who's just as invested in your success in this process as you are. And next question is more about local market knowledge. Do you specialize in this area? An agent who specializes in a local area can really make or break a transaction, or if they're just a special or a high producer or a special knowledge about their local neighborhoods can be really helpful. So they're more likely to know things like the zoning laws and contractors in the area. They're going to know things like average days on market for this area versus that area, how much negotiating is typically done on transactions. They're also going to know the other agents who are working in those areas, and they're going to have good relationships with those people and be able to work more effectively with them. You want an agent who has good relationships on your side. Good relationships can take a transaction that may be tricky and help make it go more smoothly. Also, you want to hear an agent say that if they are not qualified to give you the answer to a question, that they will connect you with a source to that information. There are many questions that realtors cannot answer for you. They could be violations of fair housing laws, or they may not simply just not be licensed and insured to answer that question for you. Things like, is this a load-bearing wall? I may know the answer because I know enough about construction of homes that I'm like, oh yeah, actually I do know the answer to that question. But because I'm not licensed and bonded to answer that question, oftentimes I will say, hey, you know what? Let's verify with a contractor. Let's get a contractor on the phone and let's talk to him. And they are licensed and bonded to answer that question. Another follow-up question for that, to know if they're really up to date on their local market knowledge, is what is your strategy for pricing my home or writing a competitive offer, depending on if you're on the buying or the selling side of the transaction. Your realtor should be able to tell you what the current market trends are, the current neighborhood trends are, and what they're seeing anecdotally in the market in the various brackets of the market. Anybody who does not adapt their strategy to work with the changing market is likely not staying up to date and staying in the know, and it's likely going to be a disservice to you in the long run. Now, this one's big. What's your communication style and availability? Am I going to be working with you directly, or am I going to be passed off to other members of your team? How often can I expect updates from you? And are you available on weekends or evenings? Let's be real, no one wants to get ghosted in the middle of a house hunt or a listing. Nobody wants this, but you have to set reasonable expectations for how long you're going to talk to people. For example, when I am listing a home, I always let my sellers know that they can expect a weekly market update from me on Tuesdays. The reason for that is a lot of things happen over the weekend. I wait to see how things fall out and shake out over the weekend. I actually talk to a lot of the agents that have similar homes listed, so I can see, hey, we did an open house. How did your open house do? And here's how ours did, and really get anecdotal evidence that's helpful, not just the big market trend numbers. Of course, I'm going to talk about that as well, but I want to get some of the anecdotal evidence to see how we're doing on their listing. They get that from me every Tuesday at 1 p.m. They know it, and they can set their watch by it. On the buyer side, how am I going to communicate with you? If we're in transaction and in negotiation, I'm not going to cut you off at a certain time of day typically. If we see a house at 6 o'clock and you're writing an offer, I will stay up and I will make sure that offer gets written that night if that is what is needed for the transaction. I will advise you if it's not what's needed for the transaction and if you have time to sleep on it, all those kinds of things. But my typical work hours are, I say, 10 to 7. The reason being is that I'm often out late working with clients and also family time even after that. And so I don't start my workday until about 10 a.m. to help make up for that. Obviously, if something is urgent, I make sure it's done. I still monitor my communications to make sure that nothing is slipping through the cracks and nothing that is urgent is not being addressed. But my typical working hours are that time. Next question to ask is, what services do you bring beyond buying and selling? Do you do staging? Do you do the photography? Do you do videography? Your agent should really bring you a toolkit, not just a keychain. And that sometimes is the people. I have a house cleaner, I have a window cleaner, I have a contractor, I have all these people that help me get houses ready for my clients. For buyers, a good follow-up question is, how are you going to identify properties that fit my goals? And for me, for this one, it's actually pretty simple. We set up a search, we're gonna look at the search together, make sure it's set up in a way that makes sense for you. I'm gonna help you identify how specific you wanna get on things versus how open-ended you wanna keep things. And then I'm gonna help monitor all those listings as they come on the market for you. And I text. Typically, that's what I tell my clients is, you're gonna get an email, but if I look at it as well and I think, oh, you need to take an extra look at this, I'm gonna text you and follow up with a text. For sellers, it's, what's your marketing plan to get me top dollar for my home? And I love this question. And number one is price appropriately and present appropriately. Price and presentation are the two things you can control, so you want to control them to the best of your ability. And I usually go through what's needed for that particular home in order to achieve that. Now, don't forget, can you provide references or recent reviews? And a confident agent will not hesitate to connect you with past clients. Google reviews are also a great thing to look at as well, or Facebook. Not every agent has all their reviews in all the places. That can be tough to do sometimes because you'll have one client that reviews you on Zillow, one that reviews you on Facebook, one that reviews you on Google. And I, as the agent, can't take that and put it in all the places. So sometimes you might just they might be able to provide you a written copy of that. I include some of them in my listing presentation so you can see them. I'm also happy to connect you with those people. The things that you want to kind of be looking out for are vague answers, pushy behavior, or a lack of enthusiasm when it comes to wanting to earn your business, because that's really what the chance is here. They're trying to earn your business. Remember that. Your realtor should really be a partner and not a pressure point in the transaction. Remember that asking the right questions can help you find the right person to help guide you through this transaction. This transaction should give you confidence and peace of mind. One of the things I tell clients that I'm looking to work with is, I want you to understand the things you're signing. I want you to understand the things that you're agreeing to. I want to help guide you through this process at every step of the way. If at any point you don't understand or you need more information, do not hesitate to ask for that. And I will slow down, make sure that you have all the information that you need. Communication is the key to this relationship. If at any point someone is not meeting your expectations or you're concerned about anything, ask, because there may be a reason for it, or it could have honestly been overlooked. So you really want to make sure you have open end of communication. It's really important that that's a reciprocal two-way street. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tune in for the next video. Happy house hunting.